and welcome to our next episode of Coaching Couch TV. We are 8 weeks running, 8 Thursdays. So thank you for watching, everyone, and supporting our channel. Today, we're going to have a very interesting topic, a topic that I have no idea about. That's why I brought a professional who can share with us all her knowledge. Leila, welcome back to us, and hope you're well.
Thank you. Good evening, Daria. Good evening, dear viewers. Thank you for having me again. Such a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is mine as well. So we were talking, me and Leila, behind the scene, and I was telling her that I will be asking questions as a viewer because the topic I'm not familiar with. And I'll give you the space, Leila, so you can explain lots of things. But yeah, there are times that I will have to uh, just stop you and ask something because it's really interesting.
Please do. I enjoy question, and when it's a conversation, it makes it always more interesting.
Yeah. So we will be talking today about meditation, about trance, and hypnosis.
And hypnosis, yes.
Yes. So some of the things that I've read, for example, well, meditation, many of us know there are different kinds of meditation as well for different things, different methods, techniques. There's like variety, and different things also works for different people. And meditation, we have an idea about. Trance, however, it's a bit different. But as you said in our previous episode when you were here, you were saying that we are in trance some time of the day when we do something on autopilot, when we just consciously not aware what we're doing, but we're still doing. So that's a state of trance. So yeah, I would like to know more about things. So if you just let us know about starting, we were saying that meditation is the best topic to start with.
Yes.
So let's begin. What is meditation? Who is it for? And when we can use it?
Yeah. So meditation, of course, we understand it in different ways. There are different kind of meditation. We can guided meditation. There is a silent meditation. There are different kind of meditations. But I've tried few of those, and I always like to find the way which is the simplest, like the easiest to understand. And of course, what I'm going to share today, either whatever the topic is, either meditation, trance, hypnosis, just going to be my own opinion, taken from my own experience.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, and of course, I will be sharing resources as well where that I feel are would be useful and makes things easy. I like making things easy, not complicate things.
Yeah, of
So
course.
before we talk about meditation, it's important to know first and just remember when we do meditation, in fact, what is happening, and it goes back to understanding who we are. It's so always starting from the beginning is who are we? Then we have a body and we have a mind that takes care of the body, but the essence is we are a soul. So it's very important to keep this in mind, as it's going to be clearer afterwards to understand what is meditation, what is trance, what is the effect of hypnosis, and then even deeper into quantum healing hypnosis. It is going to be our the last part I will be talking about. Meditation, in very, very simple words, is being here and now, being present. Now, what does it mean to be present? Most of the time, our mind is trying to solve things that happened in the past. So we find ourselves always not present, but trying to think about, oh, what happened yesterday, what happened last month, why did it happen this way. So in fact, our body is here in the present moment, but then our mind is trying to solve the past, is trying to make sense of the past, trying to correct, change, or just resolve whatever happened in the past. So we are not, our mind and our body very often not in the same place. Another place that the mind likes to be in is trying to predict
Predict.
the future. So we are either in the past, trying to solve the past, correct it, change it, which is, I mean, when you think about it, it's difficult to do. Or we are trying to predict the near future. So we are really here and now, which means the body is here, but then our mind is somewhere else. We can even be daydreaming and maybe imagining with what kind of holidays we would have, what are we going to plan for dinner this evening, or what am I going to wear tomorrow. I'm still not here and there, here and now. My body is here, my mind is thinking about something else. So meditation, in fact, is to bring mind and body at the same place, which means we tune the mind into the present moment. And how do we do that? By anchoring our attention in something which is in the present moment. So what is here and now? Our body. My body is always here and now. My body is not in the past. My body is not in the future. So a good way to do it is, let me connect with my body, feel my body, use my senses to anchor my attention here in this very moment. And this is what meditation is about. It's just to bring my mind and my body in the same place. Now you would ask, what are the benefits? We need to understand what the mind is to answer this question. So the mind is a super intelligence, a source of great power that takes care of our body at all times. It's responsible of the healing, of maintaining, regenerating, taking care of the body in all the different systems we have, the 53 trillion cells. The mind is there taking care of the body at all times. But not only that, it's also making sure that we gather all the information, we make meaning of what's happening in our each and every moment. So the mind is really an amazing, amazing power. So imagine if we bring that power, instead of it being scattered somewhere else, bring it here in the body. Imagine what that can do to the body, having that energy in the right place. And the beauty of that alignment is that it will allow the soul to connect with the mind and the body at that moment. So you bring all of you in that moment, and the body benefits greatly from it. The benefits of meditation is there has been studies, and they've seen that people who meditate have very well, rich connections in their brain. It reduces blood pressure. It helps the body heal faster. So we have all the benefits to meditate. I don't know if you have any questions apparently here.
I'm just listening. It's very powerful. So it's like when you meditate, you just center in yourself. Basically, it's the finding that center, the connection between your mind and your body. And yeah, as you're saying, well, we are healing better because probably when we are feeling right here, right now, and connected mind, body, and soul, you don't have this anxiety, the stress, because anxiety is basically thinking about the future, trying to predict it, solving the problems, trying to solve a problem that didn't come yet, and maybe they will never come. That's what anxiety is.
True.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful.
So that there is I've tried meditation, like guided meditation, in different studios through videos, And there is one author which really made me see or understand meditation in a very simple way, but so powerful. I can show you the book here. His name is
Sure.
Richard Haight.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote many books about different ways of meditating, the samurai meditation. He links it with martial art, and he explains it so well here in this book, Inspiration, which is a mix between to be
Mm-hmm.
to be inspired, but also an experience, an inspiring
Mm-hmm.
experience. Uh,
Inspiring, yes.
inspire. Yeah, I say he made up this word,
Yeah.
and he explains that it's meditation needs to be simplified in a way that it can be integrated in our daily life. And he went even to the extent where he explains that, and he practiced it and he teaches it, that we can meditate with our eyes opened. We can meditate while walking. We can meditate while doing any activity during the day. And this is just by being at any moment where we want to be in that state, to use our senses to anchor us in the present moment. So just,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when he started with closed eyes first, and then we connect with our sense of hearing. So we start hearing all the sounds around us, so become aware of them. Sounds are happening here and now. So when I give them my attention and focus on them, it's not really focusing, just becoming aware. Then you are here and now. And then you add another sense, which is the sense of smell, and you become aware of all the smells that are in your surroundings. Maybe there are no smells, but still you
Mm-hmm.
becoming aware of the sense of smell anchors you even more. Then the sense of taste, where you just check what's the taste which is in your mouth at that moment. It might be nothing, but still there is a taste in your mouth nevertheless, and that anchors you even more. Then the sense, and then you open your eyes and you become aware of your surrounding, but not without focusing on anything in particular, but just having like a peripheral view, where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you tried it before, but when we are focused on one point, then there is tension. But the moment you just you open your eyes out into the peripheral, at that moment you feel like a deep sense of calmness. So it calms the mind and the body. So imagine if you do that and you meditate while using all your senses, and he adds to that, after you do all these steps, into feeling your whole body at once. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's so
Mm-hmm.
rewarding. So you are really in meditative state, using your senses and your body to anchor you in the present moment. It's really very powerful. It took him, but what I'm sharing with you here, it took him, I don't know how many decades for him to reach to this point. So it's really priceless in terms of information.
Mm-hmm.
How to meditate in a very simple way using simple means. Because many times we feel like, up to meditate, I need to have a special corner, I need to close my eyes, I need to have someone telling me something, like a guided meditation, adding elements which may be not always available to you wherever you are. While with this method, your body is always with you, your senses are always with you, and can you do it in any state, like sitting, standing, working, walking. You can be in a meditative state at any time you choose, without any constraint of having something external to you to get into that state. And the more we do it, the more you reach like a deeper state of connection with your body and your mind. And he even reaches a point where he feels like his body is transparent, like he's such in a deep state of meditation that he feels his body melts with the environment. He doesn't feel like he's separated from what's around him. He feels like really deep connection with everything that is around him, like everything becomes one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when we reach that state, means this is what spirituality is about. And we'll talk about it a little bit later when we talk about quantum healing hypnosis. Is understanding that we are not separate from things that are around us. We are connected to our environment.
Mhm.
And meditation allows us to feel it at deeper state. Yeah, you
When
wanted to say?
when you were talking and you were
Mhm.
talking about the smell and senses, remember there is a phrase like that: "Slow down and smell the roses."
Yes.
Or just someone is saying, "Oh, I can hear birds singing," because this is we are in constant hurry and doing something. We are on a mission of something. We forget there is so many things happening here and
Mhm.
now, and that they're just there, but we don't notice them anymore. So yeah,
Mhm.
when someone wants to, to calm someone down, or to give like advice to just to relax, just slow down and smell the roses. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
And it,
that's
yeah, sorry.
no,
Mhm.
that's happening now, and that's as you were saying, it's includes our senses.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And while you were saying that, as I just remembered that meditation, in fact, is to reconnect with who we are really. We are called human being, not
So we need
human
to be.
doing. Yes.
Yeah,
So meditation
yeah.
is to go back to that, to who we are in essence, which are we are a being here
Hmm.
now. And it's not about doing anything, it's just about being in the moment and being present. Even if we are walking, like the way Richard Haight explains it, even while going about your daily tasks, and you can be in a being state, which is being connected and aligned, having your mind and your body in the same place, and that will allow your soul to be there. And when your soul is aligned as well, then this is where you get those inner knowing, the intuition and the, like, that sixth sense that tells you what to do next, if what's happening is good or bad for you, if it what's happening is exactly where you are is where you are supposed to be. This kind of information which we wouldn't get otherwise if we are not really in tune.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. We're not aware of it when we don't know what's happening around us.
Yeah, because if we
Yeah.
we get too much entangled with the external environment, so we dismiss that inner voice that tells us so many things and guides us all the time. But when we are in a meditative state, we are more attuned, and then we can really hear and listen and feel what we are doing, or where we are, or the people who are with us. These kind of messages that they just come, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. I've tried. I I've heard, of course, about meditation about a lot of things.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like, yeah, probably for more spiritual people, because I'm consider myself about logic, doing. I'm a doer, not a being.
Mhm.
So my husband suggested we'll try transcendent meditation,
Mhm.
transcending, yeah, TM. And with my mind racing, I don't know, a lot during the day, and I am up to the headache.
Mhm.
I really found that meditation really, it's not only centers you, it makes you think more clear, because your mind is not in the past, in the future, it's right here. And even sometimes when you have some ideas, or and you don't know how to implement them, once you're meditating, even during the meditation, it kind of comes to you. So you need to do step one, two, three. It's really interesting, because your brain just clears of everything around, and you just by yourself for that 20 minutes, two times a day. Even you can do it in a train, in a coffee shop. We've done it in a coffee shop. But just uh, close your eyes and concentrate only on yourself. And like,
Mhm.
I thought I will never enjoy meditation, because it's not for me, it's for someone else. No, but I honestly think it works. Well,
Yeah.
Leah, what would you say to people who's much younger? Because we usually come to this kind of discoveries about ourselves when we are in our 30s, later in life, because we use our teens and 20s for doing things and learning on our mistakes. But what would you tell them to get them more interested on trying meditation when they're still young?
Um, I know. I know that many what we call young people now, we call them young and we feel like they are different, but they are just exactly the same. Uh, I mean, they are just other individuals, just the age, of course. Um, and the thing is, they are very much interested in much more than maybe us in our teens. They are
Hmm.
more curious. I have so many of my young clients who are, sometimes 7 years old, 15 years old, and they want they,
Really?
yes, and they are interested in learning more, in becoming a better person. I'm really
Nice.
amazed, and I say, oh God, that this is amazing. If at this age they have this kind of interest, imagine what kind of adults they will become.
That,
Luckily, the many schools now are introducing yoga, mindfulness,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
meditation. Here in the UAE, and I'm sure somewhere else as well, other places in the world, and it's becoming more common. Now the
Probably,
question,
yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Probably because of this awareness
Mm,
they are coming to, because I don't think before it was something very open. Um, for example, when people live in their own countries and they have their own culture, when we heard about meditation things, we were thinking about India.
mm,
When people meditate with all these flowers, with all this, sounds and essence burning. That's the whole image about meditation. But
yes.
now that it's more open, there is a lot of information, as you said, also the schools introducing, and you can see a lot of TV. They're also in the movies, even in some cartoons. They're talking about, "Oh, I'm just meditating. I just want to be aware of myself." It's really good that they have a lot of information now.
Absolutely, they are more exposed to this need to meditation and mindfulness, and thinking about how to improve themselves, and the mind and mindset and all these terms. I mean,
Hmm.
they make them curious, and they want to understand more. But what is it? How does it work? And they have this kind of question, which is really amazing. I mean, if they are curious about it, they are open to learn more about it, which is really great. Yeah,
And learn about themselves. That's important.
exactly. And what we are doing right now, talking about these kind of topics, people will open talk about it, maybe share it, hopefully, and
Hmm.
uh, and it demystifies what it is, because
Hmm.
it's something which is easily accessible, easily doable, and then the benefits are amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, what are the benefits?
So the benefits is first calmness. um, some instead of worrying about or stressing about the past or worrying about the future, it gives that moment where we start seeing things clearly. As you said earlier, we are here and now. There is no problem. The stress is about when we think about the past, or the worry or the anxiety is about when we try to control the future, which is not here yet and might not happen, as you said as well.
Hmm.
So it really helps understand what is it exactly that needs to be done next, without all the you know distractions about, oh, what happened yesterday, what can I do tomorrow, or being here and thinking about something else. It really helps. Let me just take 10-15 minutes, calm my mind and my body, and I will see clearly about what will be the next step. And when I
Mhm.
do that, of course, when we reduce the stress, we reduce the anxiety, then we allow our body to function properly, because stress and worry blocks different systems in our body, the first one being the immune system. So imagine if
Mm.
we are in a state of worry or anxiety, or we are stressed, the stress increases inflammations in the body. So when we meditate, we calm the mind and the body, then we reduce the inflammations, the stress, and the inflammations. Do you know that we when we are stressed and the body gets inflamed, there are inflammations in the body that creates, like keeping in the extra reserves of fat,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
the mind understand that there is a threat. If there is inflammation, there is a threat. We need to hold on any form of energy,
Mhm.
and that for the body, fat is a treasure.
Mhm.
Fat is
Uh,
a source of energy which is priceless, because if there is stress, means maybe we become in survival mode. Survival
yeah,
mode, the body and the mind needs as much energy as possible in case we need to run away, fight, these kind of reactions. So
because historically, yes, if there is a stress, it's basically stress of survival and the food.
exactly.
So
So
that's yeah.
if we want to lose weight, we have all to gain from meditating, because we meditate, we reduce the level of stress, cortisol in the body, then inflammations reduces, then the body and the mind feel like we are in a safe place, then we don't have any need to keep on that
Mhm.
extra reserve of fat. So this is already one thing which is interesting.
Interesting.
Yes, and then when the body is calm, we are not worrying about the future, means everything is fine, then the immune system can function properly. Because when there
Mhm.
is worry, it's a state of fear. And when we are in a state of fear, we are in a mode of fight or flight mode. Fight or
Mhm.
flight mode means most of our uh, systems are completely shut down. One of them being the immune system. So if we stay in that state, means our body cannot protect itself against viruses, germs, and all these
Mhm.
kind of things.
Mhm.
So calming the body reduces, then we are not, there is no worry about the future, then we are just here and now. The more we do it, the more the mind gets convinced that everything is fine, everything is fine, everything is fine. So the more we
Mhm.
meditate, the more we maintain that state of calmness, then we allow all the system to function in our body, being immune system, digestive system, um, regenerative,
Vascular. Mhm. Yeah.
vascular, regenerating the
Mhm.
cells and all that, then the body is much healthier.
Mhm.
So meditation,
Also.
it's really something which is it's easy. It doesn't take a lot of time, 10-15 minutes in the morning, same in the evening, and then it's cheap because it doesn't cost you anything. And the
Mhm.
benefits are, I mean, income, they are really amazing. They are priceless,
Mhm.
and it's available anytime, anywhere, to anybody who's ready to take those few minutes and start practicing meditation, because it takes really practice. At the beginning we feel like, oh, I cannot sit, 15 minutes is too long, I don't have time, I don't have. But with time
Mhm.
it becomes easy. Start small, like start with 5 minutes, and then increase every day with few minutes, until you
Mhm.
will you will love it so much. Then after some time you won't even need a watch, you can sit there for half an
Yeah.
hour, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. It's really addictive. um, and
What
yeah, this
what's really interesting, Leila, you're so correct. It takes not so much time, and we always complain we don't have time. But when we see it on Instagram, when we see it on social media, We can spend hours without even realizing it,
True.
and it doesn't give us any benefit. When you can just spend 10, 15 minutes just for yourself to meditate, and it's just, it's amazing and benefit for your health, for your mind, and you're doing something useful. Because, yeah, entertaining yourself is good if you have a limit on time on that. But we wasting so much time. We're not spending, we're wasting so much time on social media. But better to just to pay attention for yourself, to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you suggest any teachers? Because I know that very difficult to start meditate by yourself. You wouldn't know if you're doing it right or wrong.
It's I don't think you need a teacher.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's
I
easy.
it's
Just
for me it
sit,
took
close your
time.
eyes, and yeah. Of
Hmm.
course, it takes time. Like anything we want to start implementing in our daily life, it will take a little bit of time. That's why don't impose on yourself like to sit, oh, I need to do it for 20 minutes. I need to do it for half an hour. No, 5 minutes.
Hmm. Hmm.
5 minutes, you sit. You can close your eyes or not. At the beginning, maybe it's better to close your eyes and just focus on something which is you, in you, like your breathing, focus on a sound, maybe the sound of the AC for 5 minutes. That's it.
Hmm.
And then start by using one of your senses, focusing on what you hear, focusing on what you smell, or just sitting and focusing on your breath, because you breathe in the present moment. You don't breathe in the past or in the future. So
Hmm.
focusing on the breathing anchors you in the moment. The
Hmm.
idea about meditation is just make it as simple and as replicable as possible. Like if I say, okay, maybe I need an external element for me to do meditation, I'm just complicating things.
Hmm.
What does it mean? It means when I don't have the teacher, I will not be able to meditate. Or when I don't have like a YouTube
Music.
or my phone, or it means
Yeah.
I cannot meditate. No, we need to make it explain it in a simple way, in the way that you can do it wherever you are, with just you being there.
Hmm.
And
So
I promise you, it's so simple. It's so simple.
all this scented candles, all this relaxing music, all this bubble in a bath, we don't need it. We can sit
Not
and
really. It's just extra things that make things maybe a little more enjoyable,
nicer. Uh-huh.
gives the mood.
Hmm.
But that it's not we can do without all those, because what is meditation is to be present, to
Hmm.
bring body and mind in the same place at the same time,
Hmm.
and you can do it easily. I really suggest reading this book,
Hmm.
Inspirience, by Richard Haight.
I'll
He
put it
wrote
also in
Yeah,
description of the video
he
later. Yeah.
wrote many books about meditation, and this one really explains it in a very, very simple way. You can do it anywhere, anytime, and you don't need anything except you being there. That's it.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. I'll put it also in description.
Yeah.
How meditation and trance similar, or how they're connected? Or is it the same thing, or is it different? How they're different also?
Meditation is intentional. Like you decide to
Mm.
be here and there. While trance is most of the time unconscious. We are unconsciously in trance. What does it mean to be in trance? A trance state is a natural state. It's a state where we are in a passively or a passive state of relaxation. That's it.
Mhm. So we
And
don't realize it that we're in
we don't
trance.
realize it. We are in trance all the time. Before we go there, I need to explain that our brain experiences four brainwave, four state of activities. The first one is called gamma, which is when we are deeply focused, working, focusing on concentrating on something. So it's a high high state of our brain is really very active at that moment, gamma. Then the second one, which is about just normal activity, we call it beta. Like when we are aware of what we are happening, what we are doing, it's just busy, active mind, but it's not really deeply focused. And then the moment usually when we close our eyes, and it's a rest, we start being in a restful, very relaxed, passive mode, we call it alpha. You close your eyes and you're in alpha. Okay, it means you are starting to reconnect with your to yourself inwardly. Now you let that state go deeper into relaxation, and we call it theta. And then the next one will be delta, when you are in a sleeping mode. And in this case, you're completely disconnected. You are sleeping. All right. Now, what is to be in trance is to have your brain in theta brainwave, between alpha and theta, where you are deeply relaxed. But what I need to explain here is that most of the time we think that when we are in trance means we are not in control. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know that even when I was researching the meaning of trance in the Cambridge Dictionary, I will read it for you now. It's written: temporary mental condition in which someone is not completely
aware.
I don't know. There's a word here. Conscious about, of, and or in control of himself or herself. Mm-hmm. And this is not true at all. This is not true at all. Like first saying temporary mental condition, it's not a mental condition. It's not a mental condition at all. It's a state. It's a natural
state.
Mm-hmm. It's not a mental condition. And this is where someone is not completely conscious and or in control of himself or herself. And this is not true as well. When we are in trance, our senses are heightened. We see more, we hear more, we feel more when we are in trance. And we are completely in control. And this is what most of the time makes people like apprehend or are not really comfortable with the idea of hypnosis or trance. They feel like if I go and do I try hypnosis, I will not be in control, and then maybe the practitioner will make me do things I'm not okay with, or I don't agree with. Yeah. In fact, when we are in trance or in hypnosis state, we are, at the brainwave of the unconscious mind. And our mind is a highly moral being, which means very much aware of your personal values. So if in that state, someone or the practitioner does or says something which is not aligned with your values, you will open your eyes and say, what are you saying? What are you doing? It's impossible to make someone do something while in hypnosis or in trance, because it's just interchangeable terms. When we are, hypnosis is being in trance. We cannot do the client or the person who is in that state is completely in control of what's happening. The difference is that we can have still conversation with the person. We can talk, respond, we hear, we don't see, because we just choose to close our eyes. When we close our eyes, we go inwardly, and then there is no distraction, because when we have our eyes open, we might be distracted by things. Even though we are in trance most of the time with our eyes wide open. I'll give you an example. You drive, I think I shared with you an example last time. You drive from home to work, and if it's an itinerary you have been taking day after day after day, which means it became a habit. It became a habit means you are functioning on an autopilot program. You are already
You don't realize it, yes.
You don't
Yes.
realize, but you are there. If anything happened which is unusual, you will come to your senses again and you realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another example is we are in trance each time someone tells us a story. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you are in a conversation and your friend is telling you or sharing her experiences during holidays, it's a story. You are
Mm-hmm.
in trance at that moment.
Because you're using your imagination and you're
Exactly.
trying to, yeah, okay,
So
okay,
you are not
interesting.
here and there. You are not here
Mm-hmm.
and now. You are following her on a journey and you are using your imagination. So the
Mm-hmm.
moment you use your imagination, you are in trance. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
the classical hypnosis, what is used is what they call a metaphor. So the
Mm-hmm.
practitioner will start taking you in a journey. Imagine you are
Okay.
going on a path, and then there is a
Yeah.
stairs, and you go one, two,
Waterfall
three,
or
four,
whatever. Yes.
waterfall,
Yes.
and then they
Okay.
use. So they are just inducing you
Mm-hmm.
into a trance state.
Mm-hmm. Would you
When you
say
go,
that,
yeah,
yeah, sorry. Would you say that trance or hypnosis is the way to bypass our conscious and get into our subconscious? This,
exactly, yeah.
this is, yeah, yes, okay. So, conscious is not always present. I thought we are conscious beings as well.
Conscious is present, of course, but when you are in deep state of relaxation, then you are the conscious. It's
Mm-hmm.
as if the conscious mind is the part which goes into sleeping mode, just stays
Mm-hmm.
on the side, and then you can tap directly into the other part of the iceberg, which is your unconscious mind. Because conscious mind is
Mm-hmm.
that the tip of the
This,
iceberg.
the
Yeah,
small part. Yeah.
it's the vigil which is looking out and checking and comparing and assessing, and you do that when you are awake. The moment you
Mm-hmm.
start inducing trance, the conscious mind stays on the side, and then you start tapping into that powerhouse, which is
Mm-hmm.
really the unconscious mind, where your belief system is, where you have your values, when you have your memories, where you have all the knowledge, skills, everything that has been stored. And usually
Mm-hmm.
when we do hypnosis, we target the belief system. So if there is any
Mm-hmm.
belief, for example, that is creating like specific behavior, for example, someone who is scared of public speaking, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
because there is a belief there, a statement, because a belief is only a statement that the person has just stored or has been stored in the unconscious mind, that says, for maybe something like, I don't know what to say when I'm in front of an audience, maybe, or it can be, I'm whatever I say doesn't make sense to others, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this kind of debilitating kind of statements that
Mm-hmm.
disempower us in specific situations.
Mm-hmm.
So in a state of hypnosis, we induce hypnosis, the person is deeply relaxed, and then we go and we share, we give suggestions, and we say,
Mm-hmm.
you are confident, you speak clearly. These exactly the statement that will become, we shift or we replace one belief by a belief which is limiting with a belief which is a
Mm-hmm.
supporting
Mm-hmm.
belief. And these suggestions are discussed beforehand with the client. We ask them, okay, what is the
Okay.
problem? This is it. They will explain what the problem is. Let's say, for example, each time I'm in front of an audience, I just freeze. I'm not able to speak. And we go and we ask, what do you believe about yourself in this kind of situation? What is the thought that, or the thoughts that are in your mind when you are in this kind of situation? They start saying, oh, I feel I don't make sense. People will make fun of me. I don't look good.
Mm-hmm.
All these kind of
Yeah.
negative statements, and say, okay, what would you like to believe instead? What would you like? What kind of set of beliefs would you like to have that will support you and make things easier for you to feel comfortable, confident, and all these kind of things? And then we decide with the client that, or this is what I would like to believe instead. I'm
Mm-hmm.
confident, I speak clearly, I know exactly what I need to share, I'm knowledgeable. a set of statements which we call suggestions. And
Mm-hmm.
while the client is in that autopilot, or not autopilot, but in that deep state of trance or hypnosis, then we can suggest those positive statement or supporting beliefs instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is something
Which
which is important
so,
to know, sorry, is we cannot hypnotize or put the person in that state if there is a resistance, if the person
mm-hmm.
doesn't believe, doesn't feel comfortable, is not trusting the process, have doubts, then the conscious mind will be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No,
Still there.
it
Yeah.
takes completely letting go, trusting, and then going in that state of relaxation.
Mm-hmm. Which mind, conscious or subconscious, making decisions?
There is a communication between the two.
Mm-hmm.
You said,
So there is not.
is it
Yeah. It's
because
a.
even when you want to take a decision, you are taking it while you are awake, so you are conscious, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems as if you are taking a conscious decision, but then
Mm-hmm.
there is all that has
You
been
still,
you have
yeah,
been doing
checking with
in
your
the, so there is
beliefs, with values. Yeah, you're
exactly
still
exactly.
connecting to that.
So
Okay. Okay.
it's not disconnected from your past or who you are or
Mm-hmm.
your past experiences, which means there is a conversation between conscious and conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
then the part that has always the last word is the unconscious mind. If there is a belief that is supporting that decision, this is what will happen. Decision will
Mm-hmm.
be taken based on the belief system we have.
Mm-hmm.
We can take an example for this to make it clearer. Um, let's say someone goes to the sea and wants to go jump into the sea and swim. That's
Mm-hmm.
also that's a decision. We are always taking decisions. Do I do or don't? Do I swim or I don't swim? Yeah, or do I
Mm-hmm.
go left or right? There is always a choice, and we need to take a decision at any instance in life. Now, if that person is standing on the beach, on the shore, and wants to take that kind of decision, if consciously the person wants to go jump and swim, if it's aligned with their beliefs that the sea is safe, I know how to swim, I can do it, then the decision is easy, and then both are aligned into the same direction, like what I want consciously and
Mm-hmm.
what is in my belief system. Decision is easy. I will swim. Now, if consciously I want to, that person wants to go swim, maybe is motivated by a friend or family member. They say, okay, you can do it. Yeah, come, we'll go swim together. But then if then conscious mind checks with the unconscious, and there is a belief, no, which is opposite, like it's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. Remember last time when we swam, when you swam, you almost drowned. You know this kind,
Mm-hmm.
or you remember that little girl who almost lost her life when she tried to swim, or you remember that film with sharks, and
Mm-hmm.
if there is a belief like that,
Yes. Yes.
then they are not congruent. Then guess who's going to
Okay.
have the last word?
Conscious. Yes.
The unconscious.
Unconscious. Yes. Sorry.
Unconscious says
Unconscious. Yes.
it's not
Yeah.
safe. Conscious
And
mind
you.
will say, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot do it.
Yeah.
Then you change your mind. You say, no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
thought about it, but it's not safe for me. I won't do it. Maybe another time. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, this fears, as you said, you can change them by suggesting and working with unconscious mind. There are irrational fears. There's
Yes.
rational fears, like yes, jumping of the heights and um, I don't know, touching fire. That's rational fears. But there are some irrational fears, for example, like people afraid of different things, like even touching cotton. It doesn't make them feel good, and they're afraid of it. Would you be able to work with a subconscious mind and kind of fix it in a way, just,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
This is what hypnosis.
removing? Mm-hmm,
Yeah, yeah, of
mm-hmm,
course, yeah. This is what hypnosis helps with,
mm-hmm,
putting the person into that relaxed state and then giving those suggestions. The thing is
mm-hmm,
that as I mentioned earlier, trust needs to be there. Being able to relax, and it takes sometimes few sessions for the client to reach that state of relaxation.
mm-hmm,
It's I don't think that someone can reach that state if they never tried hypnosis. And the whole concept of hypnosis and relaxing and just letting go in the presence of someone they don't know, and be able to really be in trance and reach that kind
mm-hmm,
of
mm-hmm,
results. So you need to be
mm-hmm.
very patient, and give it few tries. Sometimes it takes 2 sessions, 3 sessions. Two is too little. Two, I mean, maybe 3, 4, 5. It depends really from one person to another, and then we can just check
Mm-hmm.
how is the behavior. Is it the same? Is it different?
So it's
So for
basically to
those who
gain the trust.
exactly, trust is extremely
Mm-hmm,
important.
mm-hmm,
It's as simple as you would go to like someone's house, that someone you met for the first time. You go to their place and you will say, "Oh, I feel like going and napping." You would
mm-hmm,
never do that. Your mind will not let you. Even if you feel like so tired and you want to sleep, you won't be
mm-hmm,
able to sleep, because your
mm-hmm,
mind doesn't recognize that, is not familiar with the environment. When the
mm-hmm.
mind doesn't have any information about anything, the first reaction is always, what if it's dangerous? So the mind is
Mhm,
always on alert mode. It
mhm,
takes few times where you go maybe 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in an environment, then your mind has absorbs more and more information. That environment becomes familiar, and familiar means for our mind that it is safe.
mhm,
And we
mhm.
need to be careful though, because sometimes our mind understand that familiars means safe. Well, it's not always true, so we need also to be careful about that. uh, and of course there are different ways to test, to try if something is safe or not. Our intuition tells us if it's really
Mhm,
safe or not.
mhm.
Intuition
Gut
means our
feeling.
gut
Mhm.
feeling, when the soul tells you if you are in,
Yeah.
in good hands or not. And it takes few times.
Mhm,
I have clients who come and they say, "Oh, I want hypnosis." They are very excited about the idea, and I tell them, "Okay, let's spend a little bit of time together, and then we little by little I introduce you to you having a taste of what is hypnosis. Try it.
mhm,
We do it for fun, just for you to, just take inducing trance and then going out of trance, and then how does it feel?" And little by little they ease into the process, and the
mhm,
more we do it, the more relaxed they go into trance,
mhm,
and then we can get very good results after
mhm.
that.
Question, because
Mm.
while you were talking, I just remembered something. I was
Sure.
reading that, there is a hypnosis that some magician perform, the
Mm.
stage hypnosis.
Yes.
So how is that different from the clinical hypnosis?
It's a light trance,
Mhm.
and there is a trick there.
Yeah, what's the trick?
The
If it's
trick
not like
is
a
no,
secret, big
no, no, no,
secret,
no, no, no. It's not.
industry secret.
No, no, it's not. It's not a secret at all. I mean, it's a secret for those, of course, who don't know it. But
Uh-huh.
for a stage performance, it's we can put anyone in trance. Trance means just they are. How do we say that? They are cooperative. They become
Mm.
cooperative.
Mhm.
And what the hypnotist does on stage, first they will pick from the audience people who are usually extroverts. They
Okay.
want to show off, like, "Oh, I can be chosen,
Mhm.
I can go on the stage." And of course, when
Mhm.
they go on stage, they are more, um, how do we say, there is a word which is which is which it will come. they want to show their best, so they are, when they go on stage, whatever the hypnotist is going to ask them to do it, they will do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So most of the time it's like really a show. It's not really, sometimes they are not really in deep trance, but whatever the hypnotist will tell them, like close your eyes, they will close their eyes, and then raise your hand or do something, they will do it, um, and they want to they are not going to not do it, because they want like
Okay. To
show,
show, yeah. Okay.
show, let them say, I need to be my best and show that I'm really I'm doing exactly what the hypnotist is saying. So it's mostly a show. It's not really deep trance or real hypnosis. It's really a show.
Okay. I wanted to get
Mm,
it out because we will be talking about deeper things, but I just remembered something for fun when I was
mm,
reading it. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool. Um, we talked. I remember first time when we spoke, you and I, Leila.
Mm,
We talked about using hypnosis to solve some personal issues or problems and going that deep that people can remember past lives.
yes. Yeah. Here we are really reaching the. It takes really an open mind to accept that, because we can only accept it if there is no contradiction with our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
This is very
Mm-hmm.
important to know, because I suppose you are talking here about not the classical hypnosis, which is the Ericksonian. We call it the Ericksonian because Milton Erickson, he is the father of the classical hypnosis, and he
Mm-hmm.
used to take his client into a state of induced hypnosis through metaphors. He used to sit with them and tell them stories. But in those
Mm-hmm.
stories, there were messages, suggestions. By the way, the word which was missing was suggestible. When
Mm-hmm.
you were mentioning if I just go back to stage performance,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
extroverts, usually they are very suggestible. You tell them to do
Mm-hmm.
something, they
Mm-hmm.
will do it for you, because they don't want to make you feel like maybe they are not doing it well. So they just, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they are
Mm-hmm.
easy to work with. If we go back to the different kind of hypnosis, the Ericksonian one is the one that uses metaphor stories to induce that deep state of relaxation, and through stories give suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that even the person comes and talks and gets deeply relaxed, that is in itself is really therapeutic. Now, quantum healing hypnosis takes really a much deeper state of relaxation, to a state where we don't only tap in the unconscious mind of the person, but also into a direct connection with what we call our higher self.
Mm-hmm.
Higher self, we call it the soul, we call it the collective. It's the soul in itself, but that can be also a portal or a channel of connection with higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm saying here, it really takes a good understanding, or at least to allow and to have an open mind about these ideas. So when we are not there yet, it becomes like too foggy. They say, "Ah, we don't understand what it is. It doesn't sound. It's not something I accept easily." I know so many people when I say, during quantum healing hypnosis, you have a direct communication with your soul, and from there with higher consciousness. It sounds,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, that's too big. Like, no, 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 no. That's maybe not allowed. I'm touching into a really a domain which is
The
beyond.
divine
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's beyond what my belief system can can comprehend. So I'm not going there. And these people are just not ready for it. And I was there, Daria, I was there maybe just 5 years ago. Yeah, like quantum healing hypnosis. It is no. This is
What changed? What changed? Wow.
What changed is that I tried it. I was curious, and when something keeps coming in your awareness, like quantum healing, and I said, "Oh, what is this quantum healing? Let me check." And then I took the first training, which is the first level. And then it was fascinating for me. And I said, I really need to try it. And I tried it. And when I tried it, then I said, yeah, it works. It's really something that is, we cannot explain it. Like we cannot explain what the mind is,
Yeah.
Take all the scientists that exist, they will never
together.
they will not be able to explain to you exactly and all have the same understanding of what the mind is. No one has hold the mind in their hand. They don't know what it is, don't know where it is. We just know that it's there from all the effect of it. It's not like there is a saying in French. I'm just going to translate it. They say, "Did you see the wind?" See, I didn't see the wind, but I saw. I knew it was there when it went through the leaves in the. Then you cannot really see the wind, but you can see the effect of the wind. It's the same thing for the mind. We don't know what the mind is, but we know the effect of the mind. We know we have a mind. We know its powers, what it does, how it takes care of the body. It's like something which we just, instead of trying to understand what it is and just make use of it, understand it, and let's understand it so that we can use it to our advantage. So it's the same thing here for quantum healing hypnosis. We don't have a clear explanation. We cannot really explain it clearly in words, but we know that it works. The woman who put it into place or created this technique, Dolores Cannon, she started first. She was doing classical hypnosis, the Ericksonian one, but then she noticed that her clients were able sometimes to go to such a deep state of relaxation, of trance, that they started talking about things that were not part of their life, their present lives. They were talking about things that sometimes from the time of the pharaohs, or maybe sometimes from other galaxies, and it was so vivid, so clear. And she said, where is this information coming from? And then when she started discussing it with other hypnotists, they said, we never go there. We never take the client so deep because we don't know what's there. The client cannot come up from that kind of state, which is not true. And she has done it thousands of times on her clients, and she wrote so many books where it's really the direct transcription of the conversation she had with her clients in that state.
Stories, what they're telling her.
Stories, and she passed away, I think, in 2013 or 15. And she said that she is a reporter of human history. This is how she calls herself. And I didn't, even though I read the books and everything, not all of them, but I started reading the book. I did the level 1. I said, I really need to try it. And when I did, when you are in that state, and Daria, you can hear, you can feel, your body, you are there, you are aware of your environment, but you are in a deep state of relaxation, and you have a conversation with the practitioner, and stories come up. And it's not random. It's related to the concerns or the reason you wanted the session in the first place. I don't know if you're interested. I can share my own story so that can make it clearer. I did this session once the quantum healing hypnosis. And my main concern was a fear that I had from I don't know where it came from, but it was always like a fear I always had. The fear of ending my life alone.
Mm.
And I said, God, I don't want to be at the end and my life to be alone. I want to have my loved ones around me. And that fear was always inside of me, you know. And I said, I really need to understand where is it coming from, and then what's the solution? What can I do? No one can help you with that. I mean, this kind of question, no one can answer it for you except you. Now, not you as being conscious, but then if you ask your soul will tell you. So in that session, I was in deep trance, deeply relaxed, and I started telling a story when in a past life I lived alone in a forest. And by the way, I was male, I wasn't female in that life. And I lived alone. And it was so peaceful. You know, I was a woodcutter living in a hut or like in a cabin in the forest. It was so peaceful. I had an amazing time in the forest with the animals there. And whenever I wanted, I would take the wood, go to the nearest village or city and sell the wood there. And why was I shown that lifetime? Is the message was, and it was clear, you know, I had it in, I said it clearly, I can be alone, but not lonely. And for me, you know, Daria, at that moment, something unlocked. And from that moment, when I came out of the session and the following days, I had such an inner peace and the fear was completely gone.
Wow.
And now I'm living, I'm alone, I'm not lonely.
And you're not lonely.
Not at all. I enjoy my alone time. I do things by myself, and that fear completely gone. And now, when I even look at the future, I'm completely okay being alone. Doesn't bother me anymore. So what happened in that session is that my soul showed me that I already had this kind of experience. That we can be alone, but it doesn't mean it's lonely. It doesn't mean that it's painful. It doesn't mean that we are suffering. It means it's completely okay. We can be alone, not lonely, and life can be peaceful and beautiful.
Question while
And
you were, not even question, I'm trying to figure out, because as you say it, you need to be open-minded to that.
absolutely, yeah.
And I'm still on a fence. I do know that, yes, people talking about that. I do know that probably it exists, but let's just try to speculate a little bit about it. You
Yes,
saying when you're using this deep hypnosis, you are kind of connecting to the whole divine thing and the powers that bigger than us.
absolutely,
What
yeah.
if, what if it's not showing you your past life, but it's showing the life of someone that connected to your fears and showing that this can be okay? What if it's not yours? Maybe it's just telling you a story similar to yours, but it's still okay.
Who or what is telling you a story? How do you understand that?
That's divine thing that once you connect it through the hypnosis,
Mhm.
and they know that this is fear that you have, or this is some questions you have, because they have a big database of all
Absolutely.
lives that been existed. So what if it's just connected to you? They just, they have catalog of things. Okay, she has a fear of being alone.
Mhm.
We have uh, one life that we can show her, and she will just feel better.
I suppose that everything is possible.
Mm,
So why not? As long as you are getting the information that releases
helps you.
that fear, exactly helps you. It can be.
Hmm.
I don't know what I don't know.
No, of
So
course, no,
if everything,
neither
no,
in
no,
me.
no, no, not really,
Because
and that's a good place to be, because it
mhm,
means everything is possible. There is very little that we really know, and so much more that we are not aware of.
mhm,
And it's just a choice. We can either decide that I will just believe what I know, or
mhm, mhm,
I will be limiting myself because there is so much more. Or I say, okay, everything is possible. Let me just
mhm.
keep an open mind, and and just welcome and allow
Yeah,
anything
as they say,
that is out there.
stay curious. Just
Absolutely, yeah.
there is so much
So much
information. Yeah.
exactly, so much to learn, so much
Uh,
out there that we are not even aware of.
yeah. And
Yes.
people sometimes spend so much time trying to um, debunk things, or, they find in a lot of reasons not to believe it. Well, it's your choice, of course, to believe or not. But when you
Mm,
keep it a bit open mind and try to imagine things, at least, yeah,
exactly.
it's more interesting. Yeah.
Yes. I think it comes with maturity.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember even maybe just 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if someone has mentioned that to me, I would say this is complete nonsense. It, I, exactly, and with time, I one thing leads you to the next, one thing leads you to the next, and you become more
True.
and more conscious that there are so
Mm-hmm.
many things that we don't know, and then by
Mm-hmm.
not allowing it, we are just depriving ourselves of the opportunity to learn more about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
generally what we haven't been exposed to, and that's also what the mind does out of protection, is what I don't have information about might be dangerous, might
Mm-hmm.
be
Mm-hmm.
not true. The doubt about whatever I don't have any information about. So to I mean, the antidote to fear and these blockages of information is just to see, let me learn about it, let me
Mm-hmm.
find out or research. Information is really the antidote of fear.
Mm-hmm.
You want to let I mean open the door to something, or let your mind accept a new idea, just expose it more to this idea. And
Mm-hmm.
the more we do, we have this kind of attitude, and the easier it becomes, of course.
Mm-hmm. But also the use of information, because some people will just look for the information that supports the state of mind, that they decision that this is not true. They will find there's a lot of
Mm,
information that, both ways, either confirming or denying. So
mm,
also use of
true.
information is important. Just see on both sides what cons or pros, and decide for yourself which one is better. Even
Absolutely.
as I was saying, you can still not believe that something exists, but it doesn't stop this thing of existing. It will be still there. Just allow it to
Absolutely.
be there. It's up to
Abs-
you. You use it or not. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then in trying to contradict things, give it a chance and see how
Mm-hmm.
it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's something that has benefits and it has been proven by so many people trying it. I mean, can thousands and thousands of people be wrong?
No, no, but maybe they
If,
have
if,
different abilities.
if
Maybe they have closer connection to all these kind of things.
they're just ready for it, they are allowing it, they
Yeah,
believe in
maybe.
it,
Yeah.
they give it a chance, even if they don't believe in it, just give it a chance out of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so many people, for example, wouldn't go visit certain countries because they have preconceived idea
True.
about it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even give it a chance, while in that country they might see so many beautiful things, might have amazing experiences, so they are just depriving themselves of
Very true.
those
Yes.
kind of experience. Same thing for food, same thing for these kind of therapies. And I think it becomes easier when there is a real need. When the person
Mm-hmm.
is really looking for a solution, then they are
Mm-hmm.
more ready to give it a chance. But if they don't see they don't need it, then of course they will
Mm-hmm.
find all the excuses, not excuses, but the reasons to not believe it, and all these kind of
Mm-hmm.
approaches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you answer just another next question. Who would need it to go to use that kind of hypnosis? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what's your favorite one of this three? What the favorite practice?
I think I like I like them all. I like meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm becoming more and more. I do it every day. First thing when I wake up in the morning, and then before going to bed. And
Mm-hmm.
the more I'm doing it day after day, it becomes like an addiction. I'm really looking forward to sit
Mm-hmm.
and just connect my mind with my body and just be there, and not with zero expectations. And sometimes it works beautifully, and sometimes I feel like, I'm restless. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
perfect every day, but the benefits are amazing. I really enjoy it, and I can see the difference. I feel like I'm more calm, more present.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. When I do meditation in the morning, I just focus on exactly what is important to do on that day. While the days where I miss it, I feel like I'm all over the place. I don't really achieve
Mm-hmm.
much. There is a lot of waste of energy here and there, and it's not it's not always a good day when I don't do it. Now, when it comes to hypnosis, the Ericksonian one compared to the quantum healing one, really the needs are different. Both
Mm-hmm.
are very, very useful. The benefits are amazing in both of them. It just one is it depends what we are looking for. The Ericksonian or classical hypnosis goes into dealing with limiting beliefs and phobias, and while quantum healing hypnosis is more spiritual, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you don't look only at the level of the conscious or subconscious mind. You go even deeper, and you look
Mm-hmm.
for answers directly in your soul, which is your higher self. And sometimes it goes even go deeper into even the higher consciousness, which is the divine, the collective consciousness, information what you cannot really find. It's not only from this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's it goes even deeper. What is my life purpose, for example?
Mm-hmm.
What even questions you can even ask. When you are in that state, you ask directly the unconscious mind about what is good for humanity now. What does Earth want? What can we do for our environment? You're not going to find it
Mm-hmm.
in your conscious mind. This
Mm-hmm.
lifetime. You go tap into the collective consciousness, the divine, and you get these kind of answers. And the beauty as well of the quantum healing hypnosis is that you get in contact directly with that higher intelligence that knows everything about your body. And in
Mm-hmm.
that moment, we can even ask for physical healing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the part which is amazing. You can ask your unconscious mind to scan your body, check if there is any concern, fix things, because it has all the blueprint of perfect health.
Mm.
And I've seen in the sessions I've done with my clients, healing happening there and then. Like
Because the connection of yeah.
because of the connection, because you are
Mm-hmm.
in that state, and magic can happen really in that state.
When you're talking about all this collective mind and all this getting through uh, to your subconscious and all, I always remember the movie Avatar,
Mm.
when they have this the tree, the sacred tree, that they're going and connecting to everything, to the nature, to the animals, through the ancestors. It's kind of like that. Well, that's what my mind takes me to
Your
paint
mind
me an image of
your
how
mind
it
is
is.
exactly, your mind is right, Daria,
Mm,
because this is exactly how we are. When
Mm-hmm.
we get in that, when we, this is what I call it, like it's a spiritual experience. It's
Mm-hmm.
because we really feel the oneness. We feel like we are not separate from each other. We are not
Mm-hmm.
separate from the higher consciousness. We are not separate from our environment. We are all one. And in that state of deep relaxation or deep trance, we really feel that connection. You
Mm-hmm.
know that in that state we can even heal our pets if they have any problems.
I thought our pets healing us.
They do, but
No?
some they do by their presence, but it can be done also. We can heal our pets at the same time. it's
Really?
it's really
That's
profound. It's really profound as an experience, and we really take all the benefits from it when we really go with allowing, open-minded, and having that um, eagerness to feel that connection with everything that
mm-hmm.
is, which is everything around us.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yes.
fascinating. Thank you,
Mm,
Leila.
you're
Uh,
welcome. That,
we've talked about all this. It's almost 1.5 hours.
yeah, I would like to share a book with a book that I really like. I've read few
Sure.
on hypnosis, but hypnotherapy, one which really makes things simple. I like simplicity in
Mm-hmm.
understanding things. It's hypnotherapy by Freddy Jacquin. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone who is curious about hypnotherapy, because we can hypnotize ourselves, and there is great benefits in doing it. So with this book, very very thin book, but it's like you have the essence of what it is explained in a very easy way, a simple way.
Thank
So
you.
if you are interested in
Mm-hmm.
hypnotherapy, then Freddy Jacquin is the book
If you can
to
just
have and to
please
read them.
send, yeah, I'll watch again the
Mhm.
session today, and
I will,
I'll
I will
just
send
put
it to you.
the
Yeah, I will send you
sure,
the
sure.
references.
It will be in description. Great. Well, I have to tell you, the usual segment that we have, unpopular opinion.
Yes, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, great. Well, it's a good thing that I prepared a couple of questions because you already answered to one of them during our conversation. You just went there by yourself, and you were talking about that. Yeah, the the person cannot get into your mind and make you do things. That doesn't
Mm,
happen. Yeah.
no.
But of course, the internet is full of different questions.
Mhm.
And let's quickly get into our unpopular opinions.
Then,
So, I'm sure you've heard about lots of different theories about how governments are trying to control us, and they put in lots of things on the TV to put us into hypnosis and to do things.
mhm.
What do you think about that?
It's very true.
Okay.
It's very true because
Okay.
when you are in the cinema, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the moment you sit and you look at the screen, you are already in trance.
Mm.
And this is the moment where, because you start using, you are at that level of, you are passive, relaxed, but in a passive mode. So you just allow things to get into your mind. And there is a
Mm-hmm.
story, and there is, pictures, and there is sound, and you are in that, getting into that autopilot mode, where you are just absorbing information.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, they take great advantage of it. That this is the moment where you have all the ads, the advertisement.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yes, they do.
advertisement, they sell you a story, they add emotion to it, and there is always a subliminal, there's always those messages.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So that's why we need to be very careful about what are we letting in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, by the way, it's an amazing question that you asked here. We need to be very careful about what are our children exposed to,
Mm-hmm.
because they are
Mm-hmm.
already most of the time in trance, and they just absorb statements. We need to be very careful about what our kids are watching.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yes,
important. Yes. Okay.
it is. Yes, it is.
So I should never feel bad if, for example, I'm going to the cinema and I'm late because I'm missing all the commercials before the movie.
You can watch the commercials, but
Hmm.
be sure that it, at some point in time, if it has been especially repeated many times, unconsciously you will grab that that product or that service and use it
So,
because it will seem familiar to you. You have been
okay.
exposed to it. So yeah,
So
I I I
marketing
I, I,
does
ha-
use
I have a
this. Mhm.
technical issue here. Just if you can give me two
Sure.
minutes, I will plug my
Of course.
computer.
Of
Yeah,
course. Yep.
sorry for this.
Yeah. No problem. While Leila is dealing with her um, computers, I'd like to say something. Um, we are here every Thursday. Thank you for watching us. We also, I was doing in the beginning, after every episode, I would make a shorter version and call it as a highlight. If you noticed, I stopped doing it because, well, first of all, I do want you to go and watch the full episode anyway. I do because there is a lot of information that I cannot put. There will be no point of putting in this highlights. And even if you're watching the shorter version, I'm still suggesting to go and watch. So I decided instead of doing this shorter videos, I'll just do the animation with explanation of what coaching is. So it will give more information than just repeating the information that we have on live episodes. So yes, so we will not do. Uh, Layla is back. We will not do the highlights anymore. Just go and watch while you're driving, while you're cooking. Just listen to our conversations. There's a lot of great guests with their own experiences, and it will be just a shame to miss and just watch shorter versions. So, welcome back, Layla. And probably on that, we will also thanks our audience. I don't want to keep you. It's really late.
Mm.
Um,
Is there another
just
question? Unpopular question?
I no. I think we'll
No.
keep
Okay.
it. We'll keep it short. I
All
would
right.
also like to address something that we also discussed with Layla in the beginning of our before starting today episode. We did hear the biggest news at the moment, and we would like to suggest our heartfelt condolences to all people that really affected by the passing of the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So yeah,
May she rest
that's
in peace. Yeah.
yeah. Even if we in the world are not connected to England, to all the royal families and so on, still just realizing that it's the end of the era. It's been the Queen Elizabeth was born in 1926, and all our lives we knew that she is the queen. Yeah, she came on throne, I think it's 56, but yeah, something. It all our lives it was a familiar face. It was a representation of the country, a royal family. So yeah, just big news for everyone, and unfortunate one.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah. Our
thank you.
condolences to
Yeah,
the
condolences.
Commonwealth UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a moment, historical moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today is Thursday. I'm glad we did it. I'm really happy to have you here again, Leila.
Thank you, Daria. It was a
Not the
pleasure.
last time. Yes, same here. Not the last time. I like our conversations. Um, Again, we're here every Thursday. Please come and see us either live or in recording. While watching us, please like, subscribe, and put notifications so you will know next time when we are getting and what subject we will be discussing. Also, Yeah, every week we try to have different guests, but again, if we have same guests, we have just different discussions. All right.
All right.
And we are probably out. Thank you very much for everyone for watching it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Thank
it,
you,
everyone. Thank you,
Leila.
Daria. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.